Okay, so we are going to learn about hash code, right? So for that I have created this class person. Okay, and we are having a class called hash code example. Let me add a main method over there. Okay, now what I will do, I will print this. I will create an object of person obj. Let me create obj1 equal to new person. So it's a person is having two parameters. The first one is name. So let me pass a name, Abhinav, and let me pass here. Let me origin is Tata Nagar. Okay. Let me pass another person obj2 equal to new person. The name is Rakesh. Okay. Whose origin is Bhubaneswar. Okay. So now I have created two objects, right? For object 1 and object 2. So, and we are going to learn about hash code. Hash code is a method in object class. So we are going to learn about that. Okay. So first I will execute this and then we'll go into detail. So let me print obj.1, and you see here, you guys able to see one method hash code, right? This. Okay. So what is this? What is the use of that? Okay. So that only we have to learn. Okay. And sorry, get class now. Hash code. So what I'm doing, object 1 and object 2. So see, are you guys able to see that there is two number, right? Integer number, right?
Yeah.
Two integer number.
Yeah.
Okay. So why this number are different? Any guess? Like, is there any specific reason?
Because the data we provide is different.
Okay. Correct. I was expecting that. So what I will do, I will make this is same. Okay. That is good guess. Okay. So now everything is same, right? So still this is different, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why it is different? Okay. So let us assume you are in a classroom. Okay. You are in a classroom where you have a two student with the same name, right? But can you have a two student with the same role ID or roll number?
No. No.
No, right? The reason is inside that classroom, because why we used to have a roll number? What is the reason to have a roll number? Everyone have their own name. Teacher can call by name, but still we are having a roll number. Why? Because the system know that a name and origin can be duplicated, right?
Okay, the different memory.
Yes. So it's like
Okay.
to assign everyone a unique identifier to identify later on. If let assume I am your class teacher and I have a two Sumit in my class, right? So if I call Sumit, who will respond, right? No one.
Both.
But if they will have a unique roll ID or roll number, I can call by roll number and the exact person or exact student will respond, right? And as we learn in our OOPS concept, you remember identity, behavior, and state. Kritika, I
Yeah.
talked about each object is unique. That is identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how we are maintaining the identity? We are maintaining identity like this. So when you create an object, JVM assign a integer value to that object, which is called hash code. What we call it? We call it hash code. If you want to access that hash code for any certain regions, you can access like this. Okay. Okay. Now you'll see. If someone asks you, Can you tell me this both the objects are same or different? So how will say that? You simply by seeing hash code itself you say no, both are different, right? If I make it here 1, so right? So because object 1 and object 1 both pointing to the like in both the statement we are printing the same hash code, right? So simply hash code belong to or hash code used to uniquely identify the object, which is clear to you all, right? So it's nothing like it's not much
Yeah.
complicated, okay? So we'll
Yeah.
see some theory and then show that later on when you guys go through the videos, right? So what happened? You will go through this and you can easily understand. Okay. My screen is visible to you all, right?
Yes.
So what I said, whatever I explain and whatever I said in the code, right? The program I have wrote. So what I said, when you create an object, then JVM assigns some integer value for that object. And this integer value is called as hash code value of that object. So if anyone asks you what is hash code, so what you will answer? Will answer this. Okay. Will answer this. Okay. And as I said, it's unique to each object. As like Kritika said, right? When you pass the same name and same origin, there might be a chances of getting a same unique ID or hash code. She is correct in cert when we have our own implementation, we can do that also. But by default, each object will have unique identifier or unique hash code. Clear? So it is unique to each object. Okay. Two object cannot have same hash code. Always remember. Okay. Now the question is you can override hash code method and provide your own implementation. So if you want, you can override this. You can provide your own implementation. Okay. So usually in interview, okay, they will ask what is hash code, what is the use of hash code, and when you read collection after 10 or 15 classes, we read collection. So in collection, we used to override hash code. So they will also ask in interview why to override a hash code. What is the need to override? Okay, but right now we only learn what is hash code, which is clear to you all, right? And it's unique, and you can define whatever I have mentioned here, right? You have to go through that. You have to remember this and how to access hash code by using the hash method. If you override, how you'll override that, right? So we'll see everything over there.
So the hash code can be same for different object. Is that possible also?
There might see if you go with the default, right? Default implementation that Java provide, right?
Okay.
So there is very less chances to have a
Okay.
means there is no chance to have a two different object will have a same hash code.
Same
Okay.
hash code. Okay.
Okay. But when I teach you string, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there I will explain. I will explain you later that part. It will get
Okay.
confusing. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's not a discuss like discussing right now is no use. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So when you override, let us assume if I override hash code method, so that we'll see. Okay. So that we'll see. I just switch over there so that you guys can have a certain kind of note. My screen is visible. My ID is visible.
Your desktop is, yeah, your ID is visible.
Okay. So now what I will do is, so what I will do is, we'll override a hash code method. So you know what is the use of hash code? It's return a unique value, integer value, which is called hash code, and we are using this method. You know that method return type is integer. That's why you are getting int. It's this method is public, right? You see public. You see public native int, right?
Okay.
Clear? Okay. So now what I will do, I will override the hashcode method. Okay. So how to override it? So simply I will copy this one and I will go to my class. This is my class person, right? Okay. It's just a method, right? It's just a method. Okay, what it's saying, that means. Why so? Okay, 1 second. You guys able to see this? So we are having Java 7. We are having two properties. Okay. Let me remove equals. We'll later on read about equals. So what I did, I just override hashcode method. Okay. And here what is doing? This is there is a method called hash which will calculate. You know hashing technique that we'll discuss if you don't know. Okay. So this is returning some value. So let me use this. So what I'm doing, I override it, and what I'm returning? I'm returning 1, right? What it means, for all my object, what it will return? It will
1.
return 1, which is not a good implementation, okay? Because let us assume you are in a classroom and you are a teacher, you assign everyone a same roll number. So what will happen? It's going to be a problematic for us only, like for you, for me. Like if I call 1, so who will respond, right? So this is purely on us how we are implementing it. Okay, now I have name, right? I have name, origin. Let me add roll number. So it's now because I have override it, so it's in my hand, right? If I want to create a problem, I will write this type of implementation. Okay, but I know that when I create a person, or let me do Aadhaar ID because it's a person. Each person should have each person should have a unique Aadhaar ID, right? So what I will do, hashcode also unique, Aadhaar ID also unique. So I will make this one return Aadhaar ID. Clear? So when I create object, let me add this int Aadhaar ID, this dot Aadhaar ID equal to Aadhaar ID. Clear? Okay. So now here it is asking to pass Aadhaar number 1, 2, 3. Logically, I know that I have to pass unique, right? So when I run this, what I will get? 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But here always you have to remember you have to pass something unique, right? But if you see, there is a method called hash inside the object class. So it's having a implementation which will, when you pass the field details, and it will do certain calculation hashing technique and will return a unique integer value. Okay. So it's depend upon the implementation, depend upon your need, how you are going to proceed or in your development. Let assume if it's required to be the roll number as a hash code, so you have to provide the roll number. If it's required Aadhaar card to be the roll number. If you want a combination of Aadhaar card and combination of something else like phone number, it's happened, right? So that also you can do. What you will do, you will just make here phone number, you can add phone number, it will give you the unique, right? Clear?
Yeah.
You guys are able to understand what is the use of hash code and how to override it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Why to
Yeah.
override it? Right now, if I explain, you might understand, might not, but when I teach you collection, I will explain why to override. When you are defining your own class, you should provide your own implementation for hash code and equals when your class is going to participate in any map or any collections, right? So that we'll see. But right now, hash code is clear to you all. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing much is there, right? Okay. Now, this, let me make this one. So this, let assume if I compare this to object obj1 equal to obj. Okay, let me run this. What we'll get? False, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why we are getting false? Any guess?
Because that's not same. Other ID is different. So we are comparing both
Both
the
are
other
different.
IDs.
Okay, Aadhaar ID is different. Okay.
Oh,
Now I make it same, everything, right? Let me run this. It's coming false. Why?
oh.
Okay. So this is the
Because
question. Okay. You will get in your interview. Okay, like 2 years,
the
3 years, you will get this question in interview. For more than 5 years, you will not get. They assume like you know this. Okay. So why is it? Why we are getting this thing difference?
because even though the hash code is we have overridden, but when you say object one, it compares that
Okay. We'll see one thing.
because it's unique. Unique.
You know, it's not like that.
Okay.
Let me comment this out. And then I will explain, you will get a clear idea. Okay.
Okay.
Now you see everything is same, right? Let
Yeah.
me remove this phone also. Okay. Okay. Fine. So now we are going with the default implementation. We are running this. It's coming false, right? So
Okay.
now you come to know that, okay, for object one, objective content the same, still it's coming false. Let me take here a primitive variable. Primitive means int a equal to 56 into v equal to 67, right? And now we have a and we have b here, right? So now if I compare, what we'll get?
False.
Right?
Yes.
Compare with this. A is 56, B is 56. Let me
True.
run. So it's coming true. But when you are comparing reference variable which have same content, it is showing false. Why? Always remember the equals to operator. When you compare a primitive type, it will compare value. But when you compare a reference type, what it will compare? It will compare address. And each object
Address.
have their unique address. Clear?
Okay.
So that is the reason this double equal to obj1 and obj2 is coming false, even though they are having a same value. So the question arises here. Okay, so we are done with hash code. Hash code is clear to all. Now we are going with another method. Okay. So for primitive, if I want to compare, I can use equal to operator, equal to, right? But what about this? I just want to compare these two objects. How to compare these two objects? Right? How we can compare these two? Any guess? So what happened? See, not any remaining. See, now here object one, object two. Let me create one more object and then we'll see. person obj 3 equal to, okay, object 3, what I will do, I will just assign object 1 to object 3. So now object 3 and object 1 both are pointing to same address, right? You understand, right, what I am doing?
Oh, yeah.
So now
Yeah.
what, if I compare object 1 and object 3, what we supposed to get?
True.
Both the
Actually,
address will be same.
yeah,
What?
true.
True, right?
We have to, yeah, we have to get true.
Yes, let me run this. We get true because the double equal to operator is basically comparing the address of these two, right? If I print, see, object 1 and object 3, object 1, object 3 hash code will be same and address also will be same. So basically people thinks like due to object is same, hash code is same, and that is the reason it's just comparing the address of these two equal to operator. Okay, object 1, I'm just printing. When you print directly, it will print the fully qualified class name and address. Okay, now see, because they are both pointing to the same object, right? That is the reason they are having same address and they are having same. The reason we are getting true here because these both are having the same address, and that is the reason we are getting true for this. Clear? But what about how to compare this content? Like why? Let assume object 1 and object 2 having different address, that is fine. But you want to compare this two object content, right? Name, origin, and Aadhaar ID same, then it should print true. So how to do that? How you can do that, right? So we'll see that. So when you want to compare the content of primitive data type, you can use double equal to operator. But when you want to compare the content of reference type, you have to use equals method. Which method? Equals method. So we'll see. If we use equals method, can we directly get, okay, here this is object 3, so it's coming fine. We don't have to do that. We have to compare object 1 and object 2, right? Okay. So I go to the object 1 and here object 2. Now we can use equals. Okay. So how we are having hash code method, right? Similarly, we are having equals. So what it will do? The equals will compare like this. So it will compare the content of this. Okay, but how equals know about your content? Equal doesn't know that, right? So equal will go with the default implementation. If you see the default implementation here, what is doing? Is taking the current object, the object which is calling equals method, and the second object that you are passing, and they are doing the same thing, right? They're using double equals to, means we'll get false only, right? Because they don't know that what to compare, what to not. Okay, let me run, and by default what we'll get? We'll get the same answer, right? What we are getting with double equals to.
Yeah.
So it's false, right?
False.
But we want to compare the content. So how to do that? Let me do one thing. Let me overwrite equals. So equals, if you want to compare a two person, you can either compare with their net worth or their qualification or their skills, right? Correct. You can compare this two person in any one of the object, right? Any one of the properties. Either you can compare, okay, his Aadhaar card number is similar to my number or greater than or less than something. Let assume I want to compare on both the things, right? Or I just want to do comparison based on Aadhaar ID. So you can just select, okay, Aadhaar ID. Let me do with all this property and say, because right now I just want to check they are common or not, right? So see, equals method is get overridden. Okay. So basically, if what is happening, if this equal to First we are checking the address. If address is same, then no need to compare further, right? Correct? So we can return.
Yeah.
After that, what we are doing? 0 and null. So if 0 and null, if any one of is true, means true. 0, it's not 0, this object. Okay. So if these both are true, then it will go inside, it will compare. Get class, it's getting a default class object, and it's getting a this default class object is not equal to this. Means both the class object, it's just checking that both don't point to the same object. If that is the case, it will return false. Okay. Otherwise, it will go here, it will compare Aadhaar card of this. Okay. And basically it's return boolean, true or false, it's equal or not. I'm just deleting this implementation. I will write my implementation. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to just compare. So first I have this object, right? So what I will do, I will first convert this object to person object. Oh. So now we have P, and which is calling this method. This method is getting called by object 1, which is this, right? Okay. So now what I will do, if this dot name, right? So name is a string is having a method already, string override this method equals. Okay. I am doing P dot name. I'm just comparing these two. And operator now, if first one is true, then we are comparing the second one. So this dot Aadhaar ID, this dot Aadhaar ID is equal to P dot Aadhaar ID is string, right? So will not use equals to, will use dot equals. This dot name equals to P dot name, and this dot Aadhaar ID dot, what is happening, man? Oh man. Equal to P dot Aadhaar ID, and this, actually this is integer. I was thinking like it's origin. You guys are able to understand, right, what I'm doing, right? P dot,
Yeah, you're checking each and every integer of the object.
I'm checking each, I'm comparing each of the property. If all the property match, right, we will get the true. If anyone fail, we'll get false, and then I'm returning that. Okay. I'm just comparing. See, you see how I'm calling this equals to method, right? So object 2 is nothing but this one, this O, okay, which coming as an object as a parameter, and then I'm